Time value of money, compounding, or effective interest rates are all used in loans. My dear students, let me now explain how we amortize the loan or calculate annuity or interest or principal repayment every year when you take a loan in any bank. Actually, the loan amortization is the process of scheduling out a fixed rate loan into equal payments. Most of you took some loans in some banks, students loans, mortgage loans, car loans, whatever. So it's really very useful and helpful to know before you go in front of the banker to understand how they calculate the annuity, how they calculate the interest, and you can apply then and verify and check between different banks the associated costs. So let's start to calculate here the annuity or PMT, which means payment or annuity. You will use it very much in Excel afterwards. Then we shall calculate the interest, so loan balance times interest rate. You will have the calculated interest then on your bank loan. Then you deduct yearly interests from annuity and calculate annual loan principal or loan repayment. Then you calculate the remaining debt principal balance, so the balance total loan minus the principal payment that you pay here in the step 3, you will have the remaining amount of the loan that you still have to repay until the end of the loan. And then you start again from the point 2 and continue with the steps. So it's always the same story, the same logic. This is important to keep in mind, but the best way to understand is to use it in a case. I will now explain how to amortize a loan in simple words, how to calculate the repayment of a loan, ensuring that the borrower gradually reduces the debt while compensating the lender with interest. So we have here, my dear students, the case study 26, the company Crosco. They take a loan for some $6,000 with a yearly interest rate of 10% here. So the question is to amortize or to pay the loan every year with the annuities, the interest, all of that over 4 years periods. So in step 1, we apply the mathematical formula, which is important to understand how it works in practice. Present value is equal to A annuity times PVIFA. It is present value interest factor annuity of the 10% interest rate and 4 years periods. This is what we saw in time value of money lecture. So here we know that the present value is $6,000. Present value is always equal to the amount of the loan because today, you receive today the money, $6,000. So it corresponds to what? It is equal to the future cash flows, which is the annuity paid every year, annuity paid at the end of the first year, of the second year, of the third year, and the fourth year here. It is equal to add between bracket A for annuity times annuity factors. 1 divided by 1 plus 10% to the power of 1 first year. For the second year, 1 plus 10% to the power of 2, to the power of 3, and to the power of 4. For every year, you discount your annuities. When you discount every year your annuities with the interest rate of the loan, you have to obtain the value of your loan. Present value is the value of your bank loan. Always keep it in mind. So here we have 6,000, the amount of the loan, equal to the A annuity times, when we do all calculation, you will obtain the annuity factor, 4 years, 10%, 3.16987. In step 4, you just, to get the annuity is equal to 6,000, the amount of the loan, divided by annuity factor, 3.16987, and you will obtain the amount of annuity that you have to pay every year, which is $1,892.82. To check that all is well calculated, the best way is to apply all of that in a table. I will show you how it works. So you have here the table with the 4 years. You have the annuities that we have just obtained for every year, 1,892.8. That can be obviously calculated in much more simple way using Excel that I will show later in slides. So the idea is here just to understand the logic, how you get the figures. So the annuity, the second column, you have the 1 to help you to understand more easily. Interest are obviously equal to the column here, 4 ending balance time the interest rates, I. The principal, annual principal is equal to the column 3 equal to the 1 minus 2, annuity less the interest. So you see here the ending balance when you take the loan is 6,000. You have the column of the annuities. So the next first step is to calculate the interest. 600, how you get it? 10% times the ending balance 6,000 in last column, it is $600 of the interest that you have to pay at the end of the first year because you still have not repaid some principal amount. Then the principal amount of that year 1 is equal to what? Your annuity, 1,892 less 600 interest that you pay at the end of the first year, and the remaining amount is the amount of the principal value, $1,292.8. Then basically you calculate the ending balance, which is the $6,000 less the principal amount that you pay to the banks at the end of the first year, 1,292.8, and the remaining balance at the end of the first year is $4,707.2. Then, my dear students, you repeat the steps from the year 1. It is all time the same. 470.7, it's 10% on the ending balance, 4,707.2. Then you calculate the principal as a difference between annuity and the interest, 470.7, it's 1,422.1, and the ending balance is 4,707.2 less the principal of the second year, 1,422.1, and the remaining balance is 3,285.1. Then you repeat the same steps for the year 3. You calculate the interest, 10% on the 3,285.1. The principal is the difference between annuity and the interest of the third year. The ending balance is the difference, obviously, between the amount of the 3,285 less 1,564 from the payment of the principal of the third year. Then you calculate again the amount of the interest, 10% of the ending balance. You calculate the principal value as the difference between annuity interest. Again, the ending balance, you see that 1,720 is the same as the principal amount of the paid in year 4, which brings you to the ending balance of the 0. Then you have obviously the total amount of the annuities, $7,571.3. You can calculate the total amount paid interest over 4 years, 1,571.3. You can calculate all principal amount, 6,000. So to check whether you have obtained the good values, there are some tips here. What you can do, you can do a sum of the interest and the principal all years, interest plus principal, okay? It should be equal to the total of the annuities. Or the ending balance, you see here it's 0 because you have to repay all your loan over the period of the loan, 4 years here. And you see that the total principal values all years when you do a sum is 6,000, is the amount of the loan. So those are kind of the checkings that you can use to check if you have obtained the good figures.